Okay, if we need to enhance and change this data entry form, you'll notice there is now on the left hand side a data entry form. So if we double click this again, it'll open our data entry form that we made earlier. So now let's look at changing it and making it look a bit more presentable. First thing we're going to do is click on this view drop down menu and then go into the design view. Now I'd like to add in my logo for my cafe. I'd like to add that into the top, so I'm just going to move this down a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to insert it somewhere. Now you'll notice there's a few items on the top here. These are controls, and if you notice there's lots of different things here. One of these is an image, but if you can't see that image for whatever reason, there is another option here to insert an image. If I do click on this image and then draw, what it's going to do is ask me to insert an image. Now I'm going to go into my IT folder, go into my year 10, and I'm going to go into my logo design. And now I've got my exported logo here. Now when I double click on this, it's now going to place the logo into my design for me, and I can move it around. I can also increase the size of it by dragging the slide handles and then making it bigger or smaller as I see fit. Now if we need to edit this to make it bigger, smaller, I can then move it. I can extend the drag handles. So I'm going to call it data entry customers because this is the customer form, and we can also highlight it, go to the format at the top and change the font style to something else that looks a little bit better. If you needed to, you can also increase the size, and you can also make it bold or change the color by clicking the A here and then changing it to a different color. Now be careful with the color that you choose for two reasons. You need to make sure that it's readable and it doesn't blend too much with the background. As you can see, I've got a light background here at the moment and a light font style as well. So I'm going to change this text back to be a little bit darker. Now if you want to change the background, you can click on the background itself, and you'll notice on the format tab that we're at, we have this paint bucket. If I click on the paint bucket and then choose a color, so I've gone a little bit lighter there, you can see now it's changed that. You can also change it darker, sorry, there's my word up, and we can actually get it then to go quite dark should we need to, but obviously you've got to make sure that whatever color you choose matches your logo colors that you have chosen. Now you can also change the way we navigate around the form, and the way we can do this is by adding buttons onto the form. Now this is fairly easy. If I click on the design and then click on this here, which is a treble X button, if I click on the button and just single click on the form, you'll notice I have this box now which will appear. What we're going to do is put a series of buttons so that we can go forward through the records and back through the records as well. So what I'm going to do is on record navigation, I'm going to say, right, go to first record. Click on next. You can see there's a little preview here of what it's going to look like. Sometimes you can choose an additional picture, but I'm going to stick to the normal one. Then I'm going to click on fit next and then finish. And then what we can do is we can position this button. Now you know the process, you can now speed yourself up. If we click on the button again and then single click, this time we don't want to go to the first record, we want to go to the previous record. So I'm going to now just click on finish, and then that adds the button in for me. We're going to repeat the process, and we're going to add another 2 buttons in here. Now if I just click on the view and we go back to form layout, you can see now that these buttons are here, and if I click on them, we now are able to scroll through all of our customers very, very, very quickly. We can also jump to the last record, and we can also jump to the first record. Now we are going to add 2 more buttons on here. Let's go back into the view and let's go to design view. And then what we're going to do is go back to the button. We're then going to click, and then we're going to look for the new record. Now if you look here, we have a number of different options. So if I click on this record operations and then click on add new record and go next, you've got an option there of having a new record button or a pencil button, your choice. Click on next and then finish, and then that now will add a new record in for us, or a new customer. We also need to think about if a customer leaves or wishes to never purchase from us again. So we need to have a delete button. Let's click on the button again, and then let's click here, and then let's go record operations, delete record. Next, and you can see you've got a choice of icons. I'm going to go with the trash can this time and click on finish, and you can see now we have a new record or a delete record just added. If we go back to our normal view, you can then see these buttons, and you can also then just test them out as well to make sure they work. If we click the new record, you can see now it's gone new, and then it allows you to enter details here. If we've made a mistake, we can click the delete, and then that will remove it from our database. Just remember, as you go through, make sure you test and show what you've done.